I love being able to use my brain and trying to figure out what's going on with someone. I love the opportunity to meet remarkable human beings, and I get the opportunity to meet remarkable human beings every day. That is my patients. And I love having that sense of team and that sense of working together and connection with other people, and I get that when I work clinically as well. I do work with hospitals all over the United States and medical staffs and medical groups in the areas of service and operational excellence. I have worked with Children's Hospital of Boston, with Children's Memorial of Chicago, and when I was chairman of my department back in New Jersey, was responsible for creating a pediatric emergency department that went from 2 beds to 3 beds to 5 beds to 9 beds, and is now going to 15 beds. And when I left, we were seeing over 20,000 pediatric patients a year, and so I'm familiar with your setting, basically, just to let you know. How are you feeling? Anybody feeling this way? And by the way, I know there are, how many people here saw an earlier talk? Oh, so a bunch. So you're going to see some of the same stuff, but my talks always differ from one to another, and there's some additional information, and then Faye's going to hit you with all new stuff. Okay. If some people are really tired in here and you need to take a power nap, that's okay with me. You'll get something by osmosis. Okay? Even if you do, and I've been there, done that. Sometimes because of what's going on in healthcare, I think we feel this way. Some days we have good days, and we feel this way. Other days we have not so good days, and we feel this way. And if things get bad enough, sometimes we feel this way. What do you want? Are you getting it? Do you love what you're doing? Is there anything getting in the way of your loving it more? I ask you these questions. I ask them because I don't want you to walk here, sit here for 3 hours, get some interesting thoughts, and walk out of here unchanged and not doing anything differently, or not committed to doing anything any differently, because if you do, it's been a waste of your time and a waste of mine, and as I've said before, I don't like wasting people's time. I am an emergency physician, after all. So let me ask the question, how many of you ever watched or willing to admit you ever watched an episode of ER on TV? Raise your hands. Okay. Now, I don't watch it very much anymore. I think it's gotten a little melodramatic. I do watch the reruns because I like some of the original cast. You remember this guy right here, Eric LaSalle, Peter Benton? I used to watch the lead into the show. I'd get jealous as hell. Why? It's because of the move that he made in the lead into the show. You remember the move that he made? Who remembers the move? You remember? Yeah. Would you show us? Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Let's... Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give him some applause for that, right? Thank you for having the guts. See, sometimes you got to have the guts to put yourself out there when it doesn't feel so comfortable. Yeah, he made a move like this. It was like, and I started thinking how often at the end of my day as I was walking out of the hospital did I have that feeling of, yes, it was a great day, not, yes, I'm out of here. Dr. Kaplan, I have something to talk with you about. On a first-name basis with someone, conversation starts out like that. I don't know about you, but I want to go use the bathroom. And he said, I know you think you run a great emergency department, but our patients don't think so. Your patient satisfaction's in the 50th percentile. That's not good enough. I want 90th percentile. Let me use a baseball analogy. To get to the 90th percentile, there can be no 250 hitters on our team. Everyone's got to be an all-star. Get it done. Now, had he, and by the way, this also what followed after that was, you know, we haven't had any other emergency medical groups come in and look at this place for a while. You think you can get it done, Dr. Kaplan? By the way, yeah. By the way, FTEs do not solve problems. Don't just come to me and ask me for more resources. But then he said a couple of key important things to me. Number one, I know you can do it. Number two, if I see you working hard at it within your own circle of influence, I, as a leader in this hospital, will help get things outside your circle of influence to help make it happen. And then he said a very audacious thing. He said, I want the emergency department to lead the hospital in patient satisfaction. Because if you all can do it, then I can turn to everybody else in the hospital and say, they're doing it, why can't you? And I'm going to tell you we did. We did the whole time, 1996, first quarter of 1996 until the end of 2001. 6 years running. For our peer group, we were in greater than the 90th percentile for patient satisfaction continuously. And the CEO said to me, Dr. Kaplan, do you know what my department directors, you know what the managers, you know what their nickname for you is around the hospital? For me. I'm thinking, Chief? And he said, no, their nickname for you is Dr. Whiner. Yeah, my exact reaction. Because you can whine about almost anything and blame almost anybody instead of taking responsibility. And I had to realize that the difference between being a whiner and a winner was simply the sound of the eye. Long eye, short eye. Whiners only complain. Winners help create solutions. Whiners were renters. If you rent something and it breaks, what do you do? If you rent something and it breaks, what do you do? You take it back and you say, hey, you got to fix this. If you own something and it breaks, which is what a winner is an owner. If you own something and it breaks, what do? You fix it yourself, or you make sure it gets fixed. And that's what he was asking me to do. And I had to come to realize that high patient satisfaction, which is where his focus was not going to be accomplished without high staff satisfaction and high medical staff satisfaction, that the three were intimately intertwined, and it was not a matter of being able to wish it into existence. It was a matter of hard work that was going to take meticulous attention to process into people. Next time you go to work, make it a memorable day just for one of your patients and families. And make it a memorable day for one of the people that you work with. Okay? And if you're going home after these sessions in short order, make it a memorable evening where your spouse or one of your kids goes, whoa, that was different. In a positive way, by the way. Now, when I first started doing this, I learned this from a book I read by Peter Drucker. He called it Management by Walking Around, MBWA, and here's what I used to say. I used to say, so how's it going? Good? Good. Keep up the good work. Everything going well? Yeah? Everything going well? Yeah? How's it going? Good? How's it going? Say no. Not good? That's okay. It'll get better. You know. And that's what I do. Now, I don't do that anymore. Now I go up and I say, so, and by the way, we follow consistency is important. So when I lead around, I'll sort of break the ice. Do you have animals at home? You have any animals at home? You do. So, dogs or cats? Both. So I'll say, so how, you know, and if I know that about you, I'll say, so how the kids, you know, right? Because that just helps. That makes it a little bit more personal. And I'm going to say, do you have time? I'm lead arounding right now. Can I take just a moment of your time? And I'll say, what's going well? Because I want to focus on what's going well. I'm sure I'll hear what's not going well. And then, because I want to reap the possibility for recognition and reward, I'll say, are there any of your colleagues that you're working with who you think are doing a really outstanding job? Any doctors? So, are there? What's her name?
Christy.
Christy. And what does she do?
She's the lab manager.
She's the lab manager, and she just keeps things flowing.
She does.
She does. Okay. And then I'll say, do you have the tools and equipment that you need to get the job done?
I do.
You do. Okay. Is there anything getting in the way of your giving the kind of care you want, or the kind of service you want?
No, not really.
Not right now. Okay. Remember, what we're trying to do is really focus on service. And I know with regard to the lab, one of the things we're trying to do is focus on turnaround times. So let's make sure that everybody's aware of what our goals are so we can stick to it, hit that 90% of the time. Okay, great. Thanks so much. How do we create that sense of team? To create this sense of team, it's colleague is customer. Everyone who interfaces with me is my customer. On a personal level, when I'm working clinically in the ER, the nurses I work with, the registrars I work with, the unit clerks I work with, the environmental services people I work with, they're all my customer. They are. I go to give Wanda as a unit clerk. She's our only unit clerk. I go to give Wanda some orders. I'm just about to give her orders, and the entire phone bank starts ringing off the hook. Do I pick up the phone? I'm a doctor. Do I pick up the phone? I'm playing with you a little bit. Yeah, I did. I picked up the phone. I said, Marin General Emergency Department, this is Dr. Kaplan. May I help you? And I heard, is Wanda there? True. But you know what? It's important that we be team players. Now,